Hello and welcome back. Now let's talk about the second win, which is the win for investors. And yes, we are going to talk numbers. When my husband and I started investing in senior living, we began with residential 6-bed homes, and we kept reinvesting the income from one home into the next. We kept the lifestyle and kept our jobs. Eventually, we scaled to 4 facilities, then 5. But that became our breaking point. Our relationship was challenged because the business demanded more and more of our time. That's when we had to think differently. If we truly wanted financial freedom, I remembered one of John Maxwell's teachings. There's always more ahead of you and more than one answer. And that wisdom led us to discover something that changed everything. That is syndication. What is syndication? Before we get to the numbers, let's build the foundation. Syndication, in simple terms, is group investing. People pool their money together to buy and manage larger properties. There are 2 main groups. One is the general partners. These are the active managers. They are the experienced operators who find, fund, and manage the property. Number 2, limited partners, the investors. They provide the capital but take a passive role. Their money works for them while the GPs or general partners do the heavy lifting. In syndication, everyone gets paid, depending on how the deal is structured. For example, in a 7-30 split, the general partners earn 30% for finding and managing the deal. Limited partners, on the other hand, earn majority of that percentage, 70%, for providing the capital that makes the project possible. Now let's do it in a simple picture through food. My husband's mom is an amazing cook. One day, her friend asked her to bake a cassava cake. It is a sweet Filipino favorite. Now her friend doesn't cook at all, but she really wanted that cassava cake. So she went out, bought all the ingredients, and brought them over. And she said, "Can you bake this for me?" Mom did all the work. She mixed the ingredients, watched the oven, and made sure it came out perfectly golden brown. The friend just waited, learning and watching. When the cassava cake was done, it smelled amazing. It's buttery, soft, sweet, perfection. And her friend said, "Let's share it." Now that story simply shows how syndication works. The investors are like the friend. They bring the ingredients, the capital. Now the general partners are like the cook. They find a deal, they do the work and make it successful. At the end, they both share the reward. One brings the resources, one brings the expertise. And together, they create something profitable, meaningful, and worth sharing. But who is this for? Not everyone can join in every deal, and that is by design. There are 2 kinds of investors. Number 1, accredited investors. These are the ones who earn over $200,000 a year, or if you're a couple, $300,000 a year, or with a net worth over $1 million. If that is you, great! You can invest in deals advertised publicly. It's called 506C. Number 2, the non-accredited investors. Well, that's most of us. Regular, hardworking people, healthcare providers like nurses, nurse practitioners, physicians, even small business owners who are just looking for a smarter way to make their money work for them. We can still invest through 506B deals. But here's the key. 506B deals are by invitation only. The SEC requires a prior relationship to protect investors and ensure the opportunity truly fits their goals and risk tolerance. That's why you don't see the best opportunities on social media. They're shared quietly, through trust and connection. So build those relationships early, so when the next opportunity comes, you are ready. Now I have to put this disclaimer here before we proceed to the numbers. These figures are projections only and not guaranteed. Actual results may vary depending on market conditions and property performance. This information is for educational purposes only and not an offer to invest. Always consult your financial advisor before investing. All right, here we go. Let's go to the numbers. This is an example of an investment snapshot. It is a 5-year syndication deal, one of the assisted living investments. The key metrics here, the hold time is 5 years, and the cash on cash income is about 11 to 13% per year. So if you have invested 100,000 in this deal, you will receive like 11,000 to 13,000 annual. That's cash flow. The next metric is the average annual return. That is 23 to 26% per year. That's the cash flow plus the profit at sale. The next metric is the equity multiple. In this deal, it is 2.2x. So that 100,000 that you have invested, it became 220,000 after 5 years. So your money nearly doubles in 5 years while paying you along the way. As nurses, nurse practitioners, physicians, and business owners, we're used to working hard for our money. But the real shift happens when your money starts working for you. Just think of every dollar as your employee. Leave it in the bank and it's like paying someone to sit around doing nothing. Safe but idle. Invest it in real estate like this, and that dollar shows up early, stays late, and works overtime. And that, my friends, is a win for investors, where your money grows with purpose and power. But it doesn't stop there. It flows into the win for communities, and that is our next topic. Until next time, Godspeed.